Yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
It's not a bad idea.
And you need school uniforms, and those uniforms are body armor.
Kevlar body armor uniforms.
Yes.
AR-15 at the kids, AR-15 at the teacher, AR-15 at the door.
Problem solved.
Not a big deal.
Not a tough way to live at all.
It's fine.
It's totally comfortable, and the most important part, reasonable.
Right.
Right.
And people in other countries would watch this and they would think it's comedy, but what it actually is a good plan.
It's a great, smart, thought out, cogent plan.
It's not a bad idea.
Not at all.
Yeah. Otherwise, we're going to be just relying on what we're relying on now, which I guess is chance, happenstance, luck.
Yeah.
Yeah, because now it seems like a casino a little bit if you send your kids to school.
Yeah. No,
It's a little bit of a casino.
Even in supermarkets, I would feel a lot safer.
Yes, armed.
I would feel a lot safer if the army was there while I got lettuce.
If the military could potentially enforce a barrier around the supermarket and check people as they went in.
Yeah. We need military checkpoints at Safeway.
I don't think it's a bad idea.
I don't think so at
to
all.
Put the military outside supermarkets.
I don't think so at all. And you know that it will come into this conflict. I guess it's like the thing that a lot of people are nervous of is government overreach. But
is part of this that it doesn't seem the death and destruction and mayhem doesn't seem to bother people as much since the internet. People have kind of been desensitized to this. We do have a culture of people that don't really care that a bunch of kids died. We do have a culture of people that don't really care about death. We have made a generation of sociopaths. I wonder how much technology's had to do with that. I feel like it's had a good amount to do with it.
I think also what's had something to do with it is just the sheer volume.
Yeah. Of the horror.
Of just how much it happened.
That's right.
It's just
Patrice O'Neill had that joke. You can't care about everything.
It's like putting out 3 podcast episodes a week. It's a lot.
Right.
You get a little numb to it.
Right.
It's a lot. So it's like, how many are you going to care for? You almost have to pick and choose which one's going to get you now.
Right.
You know?
Right. And it's
I mean, they happen like weeks. I think the statistic, and Ben can look at 2022 so far, there's been hundreds.
How many mass shootings in 2022?
Hundreds.
Now, mass shootings defined as I think anytime more than 4 people are shot.
Yeah. 214.
200 so far. And we are in June.
We're in June.
Mm-hmm.
204. And what defines a mass shooting? I believe it's over 4 people.
Or we're in May, yeah.
I believe it's 4. The U.S. has had, we're in May, right? Sorry. 214 mass shootings so far this year. And defines a mass shooting, I believe, is 4 people shot. Now, I don't know if that's the case.
Look, guns are good if they're in the right hands. They're bad if they're in the wrong hands. We need to do something to make sure that there's less in the wrong hands and more in the right hands. Whatever that is, have at it, America.
4 or more deaths, I was correct.
Have at it.
More guns in better hands.
Yeah, that's it.
Right.
That's all there is to it.
It's all there is to it.
It's got to be harder than getting a prescription for, whatever your doctor prescribed.
Right.
And it's.
But one of my friends, little brothers came to visit my house, and he's from the Appalachians or whatever, and they make moonshine, and it's a different life. It's a different life. It's just a different life.
Yeah.
And they find if they find a woman at the gas station, they bring her and they chain her in the back cabin. You know what I mean? It's a different life. It's a different life.
Yeah.
And
I thought you'd hired him to murder me.
Yeah. No, he's not.
Yeah.
It was a little terrifying. We had dinner with David Spade. He was like cutting into the plate.
Yeah.
He was like cutting into the plate.
Yeah.
Like David Spade was staring at him like, what the hell's going on? He's like cutting into the plate. But my point is, lovely kid. My point is that it's a different life.
Yeah.
It's a different life.
Yeah.
And his first reaction after the school shooting was like, they can't take my guns because that's the thing. A lot of in other countries, masculinity is maybe defined by fucking a hot woman.
Yeah.
But a lot of times our masculinity kind of rests on the idea that you have a phantom war in your head that you're going to be a part of one day.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you shouldn't have guns to defend yourself. I'm saying that You go to Australia and you see a bunch of good-looking people on a beach fucking each other.
Yes.
They're not like, where are the AR-15s?
Yeah, but it's
nobody in Australia that's like drunk, hanging out in the beach. None of them are like, hey, where are the automatic weapons to really make this a good time?
Yeah, you can't ignore the cultural component to this. Like
there is and here's the thing about Australia. I've said before, they're white Mongos, so I'm not saying let's completely emulate. They're Mongoloids,
But, you know, it's like you see all these Hollywood people saying we got to do something, take away the guns. We have to do we got to get this regulation. And then those same people will be starring in a movie with Mark Wahlberg called Diving Gun Guy.
Right.
So it's true. Like, it's just the movies are like, bang.
Or someone will assault someone who made a joke at the Oscars and they'll applaud that person.
And they'll applaud that person.
And cry for his speech.
Yes.
So I respect I'm saying people should be able to own guns, should be able to defend themselves. You know, I just feel like it's fucking horrible that this keeps happening and it doesn't seem to show any signs of abating at all. And
it's just odd culturally.
Yes.
That you can have movies where people are being fucking executed by the droves, but if you show a little bit of a penis or a nipple, people, it's like outrageous.
Well,
what is that?
It's a puritanical country.
Puritanical.
It's a puritanical
We
country.
prefer murder to sex.
That's now we're getting it. So now we're getting it.
It's weird.
Now we're getting it.
Yeah, I mean, you go watch a French movie, they're like fucking, you see the in and out.
Yeah, we really prefer murder to sex here. We're kind of a sexless culture.
Yeah.
People just want to eat and kill each other.
Yes.
That's what America's kind of become. And I think we have to embrace it. I don't think we should. I think we should embrace.
It's what makes us unique.
It's what makes us unique. Other countries like having sex with each other.
Yeah.
They like, I think it's for us to just go to IHOP armed is a beautiful thing.
And our enemies, maybe it helps a little bit that they don't even consider attacking us because they're killing each other. We don't have to invade them.
Yeah, perhaps, but it is very interesting. The component of this that's weird psychosexual in a weird way, like where it's kind of like, there is something to be said for the fact that young men in America right now are not kind of socializing, not all of them, but there's a sect of them that are finding it difficult to find partners and mates. And they're not, and it's becoming difficult. I'm sure it's happening in other places as well. But some of those people are grabbing weapons. Like that is something that some of them do. They are enraged. I mean, again, all we heard after 9/11 was like, it's a bad idea for men in the Arab world to not be near any women and to be in these cults and to, to be sexually frustrated and to be fucking, indoctrinated. And now you start to see that we have a similar vibe going on with a lot of guys in America that for whatever reason are just like, hey, I'm having more fun with a gun than a pussy.
Right. It's not the only
it's not.
factor. Otherwise, all these school shooters would just be married men.
No, and this guy might have been gay or trans or straight. I don't think it truly matters. There seems to be just a wider issue.
Yeah, it really is. There is an issue where, like I said, like if you you can't even show a penis. Why is there such a taboo about a penis? You can't show a vagina. Like, why?
Right.
What's the big deal?
Right.
But you can show murder without.
Well, you could also show like Cuties, a Netflix doc. You have young girls twerking.
Yeah.
So in America, you can get away with it if it's pedophilia.
Pedophilia or murder.
People in America hate appropriate age sex.
Right.
They hate it.
They don't like consensual,
They hate it.
appropriate age sex.
It's either violence or fucking children.
Yes.
That's all that they can handle.
Yes.
Or a Big Mac.
Yes.
Yeah, but appropriate age sex is just grotesque.
Yeah, it's really.
To people in America, there's no taboo. It's not fun.
It's our puritanical roots.
There's
really
something
is.
there a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, it really is.
And that's why the people that rebel against it are like in San Francisco dressed up as leather dogs being walked down the street in a leash.
Right.
You go, well, that's really not the answer either. It's just all a country of extremes. It's a country of extremes. You go, why can't you have regular sex?
Right.
That's, somewhat irregular instead of just having to dress up like a dog and be walked down the street and pissed and shit on and whipped and beaten to get hot. I mean, people can't get off now unless a woman's being waterboarded, choked, thrown down the stairs.
Yeah.
You're kicking her in the face. Like, sex now has gotten incredibly violent just so people can come. And you wonder, in France or any of these places, you will see people just fucking. But America, it's like people need to get choked. They need to have their head through the wall.
It's just, it just makes you real cynical about humanity. That it's one of the few things we have that is good for you to come.
Right.
There's no consequences.
Right.
It's not like doing drugs where then you.
Well, now with Roe v. Wade, there's going to be some consequences.
There's some consequences.
No, there's going to be some consequences.
But I mean, it's one of those
But
things.
it's also women, what do you have better to do than have the baby? You know what I mean? Like, truly, like, the reality is, you think my mother didn't want an abortion? You don't think she knew she had a fat, gay cocaine addict inside of her? Yeah. Here's the reality. I was born and she ignored me and took me to Wendy's. And that's what you do as a parent. You just take your kid to Wendy's. You know, so, I mean, take your summer adventures to the next level with Bespoke Post and the new seasonal lineup of must-have Box of Awesome collections. Are you ever home, Giannis, and you go, I'd like a box?
Absolutely.
Bespoke Post partners with small businesses and emerging brands to try to bring you the most unique goods every month. What's cool about this is you can start and stop anytime you want. But if somebody you know is going away for college or wherever, they're moving and you want to get them a cool present, you can send them a Bespoke Post Box of Awesome, and they'll take a quiz and they'll fill it out and it'll say what they're into, and then Bespoke Post will just send them really cool stuff every single month. I love it. You can get 20% off your first monthly box when you sign up at boxofawesome.com and enter the code Tim Dillon at checkout. That's boxofawesome.com, code Tim Dillon for 20% off your first box. Boxofawesome.com, code Tim Dillon. I mean, what do you like about Box of Awesome, Ben?
Well, there's a lot of boxes I really like.
Oh my God, will you tell us about some of them, you fucking bitch?
Of course. Well, that was very rude, but
bitch is a term of endearment and empowerment.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
I'm exactly right. Ooh, that's nice. A knife and a bottle of liquor.
Yeah.
Ooh.
They put bullets in there yet?
Yeah. I like the pancake box. That's what they sent me, a griddle, so I can make pancakes on the go.
Dude, I got this knife.
If I'm on a gas station and I'm on a gas station, I need a quick stack. What did you get, a knife?
I got the knife for, I think it's for fishing. I'm not really sure, but it's awesome.
Sure it is.
All the time in LA.
Yeah. I love Box of Awesome because there's all kinds of different things in the box, and they come from small companies, and they need the help.
And we have used these. We've sent these to your relatives. We've sent these to your friends.
Nobody does more for their family than me. Boxofawesome.com. Enter the code Tim Dillon at checkout. That's boxofawesome.com. Code Tim Dillon for 20% off your first box. Boxofawesome.com. Code Tim Dillon. You know those days when your coffee shop is out of cold brew and your air conditioner breaks and you try to go to the beach and there's 0 parking spots. Life can be hard. Good thing MeUndies is here to help you take a break from the hardships of the world and give yourself a soft summer.